Woke Women Are Killing Marriage and Dating by Suzanne Venker. This broad's very interesting. I think she's the real deal. And I've said this before. I don't believe that all women are feminists. Okay, there's exceptions to every rule, and there are some red-pilled women out there who do see reality for what it is. They're just few and far between. They're the exception. They're not the rule. But I think this Suzanne Venker might be the real deal. I've seen a lot of her work, and it seems pretty consistent and, very red-pilled. I think I have a picture of her here, actually. Maybe. Do I? I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, there she is. Okay, so that's Suzanne Venker. I don't like the hair. Okay, now I have my doubts. She's got the feminist short haircut. I mean, it's not cut like, butchy quarter-inch short, like if somebody would have their haircut if they were going into the Navy SEALs, but it's pretty short. It's not a very feminine haircut, but that being said, I'll let her work speak for itself. So, yeah, she is of the opinion, the correct opinion, in my opinion, that woke women, meaning feminist, lefty, broads, are killing marriage and dating. Yeah, I agree. Anyhow, before I get into this story, I'd like to ask those of you out there that like and appreciate the raw, red-pilled, in-your-face, take no prisoners, give no apologies content that I deliver to you. If you like it, if you appreciate it, please consider going and checking out my website, therealistphilosopher.com/donate. That is therealistphilosopher.com/donate, and consider making a donation. There are several ways you can donate. Number one, my Bitcoin wallet address. Okay. Number two, my Cash App, which allows you to send and receive funds completely, totally anonymously. And number three, my Patreon. Now, my Patreon is a per-piece platform, and I post about 8 pieces a month there. So you donate $1, it's like $8 a month, 50 cents, $4 a month, and you get some nice little perks as somebody who supports my content. You get to communicate with me, anytime, day or night. I mean, if it's really late where I am, I'm sleeping, I'm not going to get back to you immediately, but ASAP, when I can, which would be very quickly, you'll be able to send me messages via Twitter, Facebook, or my private email. You have questions, comments, content you'd like to suggest that I comment on, or want to get my advice on something as a philosopher, you can send me a message and I will get back to you pretty quickly if you're a supporter. Number two, Discord server, where I'll be having a once-a-month Q&A session just for supporters only. And number three, a philosophy lesson once a month for those who donate above a certain level. Probably going to be about 15 a month or higher, $15 a month. So a lot of little extra perks, even if you just donate a little. So go check that out, therealistphilosopher.com/donate. That is therealistphilosopher.com/donate. Could really use your help, guys. So, it begins by saying, several days ago, I posted a story on Facebook highlighting the inflated expectations many women have of men and marriage. Yeah. The purpose was to show how simple most men's needs are when compared to women's. To drive the point home, I suggested women lower their standards. You did what? Oh, that's hilarious. That's not going to happen. Until recently, this message would not have been met with so much as a raised eyebrow. In fact, to the best of my knowledge, this story, officially entitled The Husband's Store, has been told for some time as a joke of sorts. I've known people to laugh about it, but never to get mad. Okay, so The Husband's Store is very interesting. Let's go take a look at that. It's an amusing little post that highlights, I think, very well the differences between men and women in regards to their selection criteria and what they're willing to settle for, and the differences are huge. We all know that, of course. Women are much more finicky, picky when it comes to men than vice versa. But I think you'd be surprised to see just how much of a difference we're talking about here. Okay, so here is The Husband's Store that Suzanne Venker was talking about, a post that she commented on that surprisingly to her even got a lot of pushback, and that pushback was, of course, negative and mostly from women. So, The Husband's Store. A brand new store has just opened up in New York City that sells husbands. If it did, women couldn't afford to buy them. They have no money. They spend it on handbags and shoes and shit. When women go to choose a husband, they have to follow the instructions at the entrance. Not sure they can do that. How dare you tell me what to do? My body, my choice. Yeah, can't tell a woman anything these days. You may visit this store only once. There are 6 floors, and the value of the products increase as you ascend the flights of stairs. Okay, interesting. You may choose any item from a particular floor or may choose to go up to the next floor, but you cannot go back down except to exit the building. Okay, so you get one bite at the apple, one chance, and that's it. Yeah. So a woman goes to the husband store to find a husband. Okay, the first floor sign on the door reads as follows. These men have jobs. Oh, that's not good enough. There's no social cachet in a man just having a job, even if it's a good paying job like a plumber. A lot of plumbers make 6 figures. You'd be surprised. Or an engineer. Oh, no. Just having a job? I'm too good for that. There's got to be more than just a job involved. He's got to bring more to the table than that, even though I never really question what I bring to the table, which is usually nothing. The second floor sign reads as follows. Floor number 2. These men have jobs and love kids. I don't think that's too relevant to most modern women. Most feminists don't want to have kids. They see it as a ball and chain, a burden. Yet it's not acceptable for a man to see a woman as a burden and a ball and chain. So interesting. So interesting. So a woman might look at this and say, well, he has a job, but what kind of job? It might be a sucky job. Yeah, he loves kids, but I need more than that. Yeah, of course you do, ladies. So floor 3, the sign reads, these men have jobs, love kids, and are extremely good looking. Oh, that's not enough because not just any old job will do. It has to pay a lot, right? So, no, I can't accept that. Wow, she thinks, but then feels compelled to keep going because, of course, the grass is always greener on the other side, right? There's always a new floor to get to, until you hit the roof. And then it's just down from there. So she goes to the 4th floor, and the sign reads as follows. These men have jobs, love kids, are drop dead, good looking, and help with housework. By the way, if you're the only one working and you're still helping with housework, you are a pathetic simp, loser, blue-pilled wimp. No man who is the one bringing home the bacon should be lifting a finger to clean that house or do anything else around that house. Oh, mercy me, she exclaims. I can hardly stand it. Yeah, but there's got to be better, right? There's always better. Just around that next corner, there's better. Until you've turned every corner, and then you're back where you started, and you're 100. And you got nowhere. Still she goes to the 5th floor, and the sign reads, floor number 5. These men have jobs, love kids, are drop-dead gorgeous, help with housework, and have a strong romantic streak. That's still not good enough. Women will always manage to fuck up even the best deal they get. They can ruin any free lunch, okay? She is so tempted to stay, but she goes to the 6th floor because, well, there's a 6th floor, so there's got to be even better, right? Wrong. Floor 6, you are visitor 31,456,012 to this floor. There are no men on this floor. Right, because the man you're looking for doesn't exist. This floor exists solely as proof that women are impossible to please. Yep, I would agree with that. Thank you for shopping at the husband's store. You're number 31,456,013 to leave with jack shit. This is great. I love this fucking thing. To avoid gender bias charges, the store's owner opens a new wives store just across the street. The 1st floor has wives that love sex. The 2nd floor has wives that love sex and have money. How often does that happen, right? By the way, I'd be perfectly happy with floor number 1 so long as she didn't nag. The 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th floor have never been visited. Yeah. This is so true. That's why all the feminazis came out of the woodwork and started giving her a hard fucking time because men are easy to please and women are far from it. This is the perfect example. By using simple contrast to show you just how unrealistic women are. I think I'll put a link to this in the description when I post this video on BitChute. You guys can use this in the future for your own material. Send it to your friends. Send it to women in your life. Let them know just how retarded their expectations are. So that is what Suzanne Venker posted that got feminist women in such an uproar. So I was somewhat surprised, Suzanne Venker said, when a group of woke women, not my usual readers, by the way, of course not, professional victims who were looking for something to be righteously indignant about, discovered my post. It went semi-viral, gathering almost 1,000, mostly angry, comments. Well, the truth hurts. Reading their responses, you'd think I had suggested that women marry any old man off the street. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Some made the leap that I said men shouldn't have to do housework. I wouldn't even say that. It all depends on what you negotiate before the marriage, if you're dumb enough to get married, and also based upon who's bringing home the bacon. Not sure of the connection there. Well, Others said I told women not to have any standards at all, and still others were convinced I'd said it's okay for women to accept abuse from a man. Well, they're seeing what they want to see, okay? No matter what you say, if you're the enemy, they're just going to project onto you every worst quality and belief that they think that their enemies must hold. So whatever you say, it will make no difference. Once they've identified you as an enemy, it's time to start attacking you. This is what the far-left culture has produced. A generation of women whose anger and resentment toward men and marriage precludes them from not only having a sense of humor. Anybody met a feminist that has a sense of humor? I haven't. But from acquiring any critical thinking skills. Well, of course not. They're all ideologues. They're NPCs. They can't think for themselves. If they could think for themselves, they would pretty quickly figure out that their ideology is total bullshit via all the inconsistencies and contradictions that exist within it. There's no middle ground anymore. Yeah, of course not. No place for cogent conversation. It's just hate. Yeah. With so many women conditioned to believe that women are irreproachable and men are toxic, the future of marriage and family is bleak. That was kind of the point of feminism to begin with. Some women will learn down the road that they've been fed a mountain of lies. They will eventually, but maybe not. Who knows? I mean, that's why they're so bitter and angry, because they haven't figured it out yet. Yeah, when are they going to figure it out? When they're 100? Yeah, by then it's too late, that's for sure. Those are the women I coach. They are in desperate need of a new relationship roadmap. One that they're in need of a new philosophy of life, okay? One that works and that welcomes understanding that the very real and very deep biological differences between the sexes exist. No, it's all a social construct. We're all just the same. Yeah, toxic masculinity, that's just something men made up. Why? And by the way, if it's so bad, why are you women adopting those traits for yourselves? Others leave perfectly good husbands and glorify their decision. Well, what else are they going to do? Of course they glorify it. Convince men are nothing but Neanderthals. Really? Have you looked at lesbian relationships lately? They're more violent than straight hetero relationships. In truth, these women simply never learn how to love and to bring out the best in a man. Well, of course not. They don't bring out the best in themselves, and they don't know themselves very well. How are you going to bring out the best in somebody else if you can't bring out your best and you don't know who you are? You can't. It's true that modern men are doing more than they once did, but their efforts do not come close to evening the scales, writes Liz Lenz. It ought to be Liz Les, as in lesbo. In her book, It Took Divorce to Make My Marriage Equal. That doesn't make sense. If you're divorced, your marriage doesn't exist anymore. Because marriage, of course, is all about inequality. If you get married, you're automatically oppressed as a woman. What about the guy? What if he has to go to work all day and spend 8, 10, 12 hours a day listening to some boss yell at him and work his ass off? Isn't that oppression? Because he's having to go to work and earn the resources to take care of the woman, so isn't she oppressing him? By your own logic? No! When they do chip in, they expect not just credit, but lavish praise. Well, don't women expect all that? Don't they make a big deal about every little motherfucking thing they do? Oh, but the man can't do that. Oh, no. Len should read the wildly successful book on how to win friends and influence people. What, teaching women how normal social skills and parlance actually works? how to actually communicate with other human beings in an effective manner? No. You can't teach women that. They might not end up hating men so much. By Dale Carnegie. If she did, she'd learn that lavish praise rather than complaints and recrimination is the key to human engineering, or the ability to understand and to get along with others. Yeah, I got news for you. Negative reinforcement doesn't work, okay? Believe me, I know. If somebody makes a mistake and you beat the shit out of them, guess what's going to happen? Well, what's not going to happen is them learning from that mistake and improving, okay? They'll just become discontented, disillusioned, depressed, and give up and not even try, because if they do, then they know they're going to get, recriminations and complaints. But women don't seem to understand this because they continue to nag and bully men. Yeah. Well, by the way, what about just praise? It doesn't even have to be lavish. Nah, can't praise men. Because again, if you were praising men, that would be you recognizing their positive contribution to the relationship. And you're only allowed to recognize women's positive contribution, not men's. Because, of course, men can't contribute anything positive, right? They're evil oppressors. That automatically cancels out any good they might do. Yeah, okay. Interesting logic. Oh, my God. So we need just praise, doesn't even have to be lavish, rather than complaints and recrimination. And this is the key to human engineering, at least positive human engineering that improves people and relationships, or the ability to understand and get along with others. When was the last time you met a feminist that got along with anybody else that wasn't a feminist? Ever? The tolerant left are the most intolerant people on the fucking planet, and this is part of the reason. Yeah. Indeed, lasting love requires a dramatically different understanding of men and women. That dramatically part makes it impossible for feminists to get there, okay? Not to mention empathy toward men. Oh, no. Women have no empathy toward men. If women had empathy toward men, they would understand better what it meant to be a man, and then they might actually have some sympathy. And they would also understand that men have their own obstacles, their own hurdles in life to overcome. And then they would understand that this whole oppression Olympics that they continue going on about, that they have to go through and men don't, is total bullshit. That if anything, both parties are equally oppressed, and not by each other, but by reality, bitches. That at the moment is non-existent, yet women have no empathy toward men. They don't even have the ability to empathize with babies anymore. They're not even good caregivers anymore. It isn't men in marriage that hold women back. It's the narrative that women have been sold. Precisely. It's not a coincidence that the erosion of marriage and successful dating occurred at the same time women were encouraged to harbor inflated expectations for life and love, as though women are the prize and men should be lucky to land them. Yet that doesn't sound very equal to me. Wait a second. If men and women are equal, and they should have equal benefits and equal responsibilities, wouldn't that also mean that neither one of them is the prize? Yet another example of how feminism is in no way, shape, or form about equality. All of my friends are attractive and successful. Almost every single one of them has an issue with men, said commentator Tommy Lahren in a recent video. Yeah, there's another. She sounds a little more like a female incel. Tommy Lahren. Sounds like that Romeo dude that was like 5'8" or something, but a decent-looking kid, and he had rich parents, but he couldn't get a woman, and then he went out and shot a bunch of women, right? He called himself the Casanova or something. Remember, he's sitting there in his car in that video talking about, why can't I get me a woman? I'm so good-looking. I'm so great. Yet I can't find me a good woman. There's no good women. Yeah, that's Tommy Lahren. She's a female incel. If all these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think it might not be us. But then you say all these women are just like you. I mean, there's no differentiation between all of you. You're all pretty much just alike, the same, in your views, in your looks, your politics. Well, then yeah, it absolutely could be you, and all of you, not men. Me and my 6 female friends were all alike. Can't find a man, so it must be all 3.7 billion men on the planet that are the problem. I see. Yeah. If all these women, including myself, are having issues, it must not be us. It might be you. No, I think it's you, sweetheart. And the other women who are just like you. And this woman's a political commentator, by the way. Jesus Christ, her critical thinking skills are fucked. That's what woke women think too, and they are wrong. So Suzanne Venker, and if you check her out, she's very consistent in regards to her views, both political and social and relationship-wise. So she might be and probably is one of those few red-pilled women out there that you could actually call a good woman. Unfortunately, she's a needle in a fucking haystack. Sadly. Anyway, let me know what you think of this article that Suzanne Venker wrote. Are women the real problem? Are they the ones getting in their own way? Or is the problem just men? Are women's expectations perfectly acceptable? Not overinflated in any way? And did they just get angry at Suzanne and the husband's store post that she posted because she was just attacking women? Or did they get angry because what Suzanne Venker said was true? Let me know in the comment section, and please like and subscribe to my BitChute channel if you haven't already. bitchute.com/The Realist Philosopher. And again, if you really like and appreciate the raw, red pill, in your face, take no prisoners content that I present to you, again, consider going and checking out my website, therealistphilosopher.com/donate, and making a donation. I can really use your help, guys, okay? Really.